Intro. Did you know that a love story hidden in the pages of the Bible can change the way we think about loyalty and redemption? Stop everything and listen to the unforgettable tale of Ruth, a woman whose faith, courage, and loyalty defied all odds. This is a story unlike any you've heard before. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Scene 1. Introducing Ruth and Naomi. Our story begins in the town of Bethlehem, long before the time of Jesus. In this small, quiet town, a family was preparing to face a devastating famine. Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and their 2 sons decided to leave Bethlehem and move to the distant land of Moab in search of food and survival. Naomi's heart was heavy, but she followed her husband with faith. In Moab, life took an unexpected turn. Naomi's sons married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. For a time, it seemed like their lives had found stability in a foreign land. But calamity struck. Elimelech, and then Naomi's 2 sons, passed away. Naomi was heartbroken, left as a widow, and without her beloved sons. Can you imagine the grief she felt? Alone, in a foreign land, she decided to return to Bethlehem, for she'd heard the famine had ended. Scene 2. A life-changing decision. Before leaving Moab, Naomi turned to her daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth. She urged them to return to their family homes. "Go back, my daughters," she said. "May the Lord show you kindness as you have shown kindness to my sons and to me." Tears flowed as they embraced Naomi, hesitant to leave the woman who had become like a mother to them. At first, both women wept and insisted they would follow Naomi, but Orpah eventually returned home. Ruth, however, made a decision that would change her life forever. Looking into Naomi's tear-filled eyes, she said the now famous words, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried." Such loyalty and faith. Would you have made the same choice? Scene 3. Arrival in Bethlehem. Ruth and Naomi arrived in Bethlehem just as the barley harvest was beginning. Ruth, eager to provide for Naomi, went to the fields to glean leftover grain, as was permitted for the poor. She ended up in the fields of Boaz, a man of great integrity who just so happened to be a relative of Naomi's late husband. Coincidence? Or God's divine plan? Boaz noticed Ruth and was moved by her dedication to Naomi. He ensured she was protected in his fields and instructed his workers to leave extra grain for her to gather. When Ruth returned home with an abundance of food, Naomi's heart leapt with hope. "God has not stopped showing his kindness to the living and the dead," she said. Scene 4. An incredible kindness. As days passed, Naomi came up with a daring plan. Boaz, as a close relative, had the right to redeem Elimelech's land and marry Ruth, ensuring both women would be provided for. Naomi instructed Ruth to approach Boaz at night on the threshing floor to remind him of his role as the family redeemer. Imagine Ruth's courage as she approached him and lay down at his feet, a bold and humbling act. When Boaz woke, startled, Ruth said, "Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a guardian redeemer of our family." This wasn't a gesture of romance. It was a plea for protection, security, and redemption. Boaz, struck by Ruth's integrity, promised to address the matter. "The Lord bless you," he said. "I will do for you all you ask." Scene 5. Redemption at the gates. True to his word, Boaz took matters to the town gate, where legal transactions took place. There, he addressed the closest relative who had the right to redeem Elimelech's land. This man waived his right, allowing Boaz to redeem the land and marry Ruth. The townspeople blessed their union, saying, "May this woman who is coming into your home be like Rachel and Leah, who together built up the family of Israel." Scene 6. a new chapter. Boaz and Ruth were married, and they soon had a son named Obed. Little did they know Obed would become the grandfather of King David, from whose lineage Jesus Christ would be born. A Moabite woman became part of the greatest story ever told, the story of salvation. Outro. And there you have it, the story of Ruth, a woman whose loyalty, love, and faith changed the course of history. It's a story of discovering God's blessings even in the darkest times and trusting His plan when all seems lost. If Ruth's story inspires you, leave a comment below and don't forget to share it with someone who needs to hear about faith today. This has been another episode in our Bible series. Stay tuned for the next incredible story. #Bible, #Jesus, #God, #Jews, #Christian, Christianity, faith,